Alright, video game warriors, welcome back to our Ninja Gaiden 4 comprehensive walkthrough series. Hopefully you're doing alright. This is chapter 1, let's get cracking. We have a lot to do. So we're going to grab this treasure chest down the left first of all. This gives us a Crimson Blood Balm. We'll cover the items in a bit more detail in just a sec when we get access to the item wheel. And then we've got a second treasure chest just over to our left, so let's grab that before heading through this door. So that one is an attack increase item. So let's jump on through. I'm excited to jump into this series. Video Game Warriors, been looking forward to Ninja Gaiden 4 for a very, very long time. Yeah, so a couple of wall runs here. Then we have a third treasure chest just behind these crates. So let's smash on through these bad boys and we'll grab this treasure chest as well. So we'll be able to jump into the items in a bit more detail in just a sec. That one is a life elixir that restores a little bit of health. So we now get access to the Dark Nest terminal. And at these terminals we can do a few bits and bobs. We can buy some items like the health potions. We can pick up missions, so we'll grab all those, and you can also hand in missions here as well, so we'll grab those missions. We'll be smashing through those. You can speak with Umi and get like unique dialogue, so feel free to chat with Umi if you fancy it. We can also receive some bonus content, so if you have the deluxe edition, which we do have, so we'll grab the stuff. Ninja coin, and this is extra items, we'll grab that. And you can also get some skins here, so you can change the appearance of Yakumo, change the appearance of Ryu, and you can change the appearance of some weapons as well if you fancy doing that. So next we get access to the item wheel that I was just talking about a second ago. And with this you basically hold down LB and then you can sort of like push the left analog stick in a certain direction, and then press A to actually use the item. So in that instance we just used a life elixir, minor health restoration. It is also worth mentioning that you can sort of like set an item to be a quick item. So say for example we highlight this Senjin War Brew for an attack increase. If you look up the top left corner, you'll see the icon. So if we then tapped LB, it would like use it as a quick item. So that's useful like in the heat of battle if you want to use an item really, really quickly. I tend to have it set to this one here, the Life Elixir Minor Health Restoration. So you can tap LB, you know, in the heat of battle when things get a bit spicy, and you can like quickly use the health potion. So that is that. Other than that, let's crack on forward. So we're going to open up a lot of these combos using the Blood Raven form first, and then a few standard attacks after the Blood Raven attacks. That just usually breaks their defense, and then it makes it easier for us to get our attacks in if we do it that way. So this talks about Blood Essence. Blood Essence Orbs. So here it says Blood Essence Orbs have a chance to appear whenever an enemy is defeated and restore your health when collected. Large Blood Essence Orbs restore more health than standard Blood Essence Orbs, will have a smaller chance to spawn. So basically that just says that you get small Blood Essence Orbs and you get large Blood Essence Orbs. The Blood Essence Orbs essentially restore your health when collected, and the larger orbs have less of a chance to spawn in, is essentially what that's saying. So if you keep your eyes on our health bar, if we collect a Blood Essence Orb like so, that will restore a little bit of health. Doesn't really restore a lot of health, but it restores just a tiny bit. I think there might be a large orb behind us. If I go near that large orb, if you look at our health bar, so a decent amount of health there. So let's just smash on through these enemies, give them the old slice and dice. Opening up the combo with the Blood Raven, then a few standard attacks, like so. Don't forget, if you see the power attack, which is that sort of like that warning symbol that just appeared there, you want to be using your Blood Raven attacks on the enemy's power attacks so that you can break their, you sort of like interrupt their power attack, you break their stance. That leaves them open to us putting our attacks in. So that is that. I think that's all the enemies. It is indeed. Let's push on forward. Let us know in the comments, video game warriors, if this is your first Ninja Gaiden game. Have you played loads of Ninja Gaiden games? Yeah, make sure to let us know. If it's your first one, welcome to Ninja Gaiden. If it's not your first one, welcome back to Ninja Gaiden. So let's push on forward. There's nothing too crazy in this section. There's a treasure chest over in the far right corner. So let's grab that. I'm not sure what my first Ninja Gaiden game was. I think it's either the really like the first one, like I think it's like 1988 or something it was released. I think one of my older cousins might have had the original NES, and maybe I played it around at his many years ago. But the one that I have like the most memory of playing first, I think, was like the Ninja Gaiden, the 3D Ninja Gaiden, the first 3D Ninja Gaiden. Anyway, moving on forward. So this is Tyrant. This is the sort of like mentor NPC dude. So at Tyrant you can do a bunch of stuff. So let's take it from the top. So you can learn combat skills. For example, we could learn Flying Swallow. So this one, when you unlock a skill, sometimes it's going to ask, do you want to go into the training room to practice the skill? If you're unsure about the skill, definitely go practice it. It's really useful. I'm going to press no for now. So Flying Swallow is basically jump towards an enemy, and like while you are in the air going towards the enemy, you basically just press Y and it does the Flying Swallow attack. We can now get Flying Swallow Barrage. So this is just do the Flying Swallow and then just press Y multiple times. It just does multiple Flying Swallows. Izuna Ninja Drop. This one is a classic. If you played Ninja Gaiden before, you have probably used the Izuna Ninja Drop many times. Great move, one of my favorites. So this one, basically the full combo, if you're like on the ground, would be XY. So the XY part of the combo is the bit that launches the enemy up into the air. Then when you're in the air, you would press XXXY to do the Izuna Ninja Drop. So that's that. We've got Ultimate Guidance. So here it says, absorb nearby blood essence while charging the ultimate technique to increase the charge speed. So a blood essence orb will increase the charge by 1 level, and a large blood essence orb will increase the charge by 2 levels. I'll grab that. So that is essentially just hold down Y near blood essence. We technically only have level 1 of the ultimate technique right now, but if you grab this one, which is ultimate technique final charge, that unlocks level 2 of the ultimate technique. Obviously the level 1 charge is like the blue aura, and the level 2 charge is the red aura. So yeah, essentially you can hold down Y to charge the ultimate technique. If there's blood essence around you at the time, it will kind of like absorb the blood essence to sort of like pump it up by 1 level or pump it up by 2 levels if it's the large blood essence orb. So that is that. We'll get Fatal Flash. So Fatal Flash is parry, then Y. So after doing a parry, you would press Y to follow it up. I'll cover parries in just one sec. And we'll also get Art of Defense level 1. So with blocking, if you take a look at the example video here, you'll see that Yakumo kind of like flashes a certain colour upon a block. So if you've got loads of blocks left, then he will flash like a white colour. Then if you're running out of blocks, he will flash a yellow colour. And if your block is about to be broken, he will flash a red colour. So just keep in mind the sort of like flash colours as you're blocking. So this one here gives us consecutive blocks up to 5 there. So that is that. We'll just leave that for now. We'll come back to it in a sec. And then you've got battle techniques. So here it just gives information about the battle techniques. So the one specifically that I wanted to mention here was the parry. So this one says, while in base form, time your attacks against an enemy's to perform a parry, causing both of your weapons to bounce back for a brief moment. So with this one, the standard parry, basically you just press attack just before the enemy's attack is about to hit you. The timing is a little bit tricky on the parries. If you've played Onimusha before, it's a bit like the Ishin on Onimusha. So you just press attack like, just before the enemy lands their attack on you, essentially. And then the skill Fatal Flash that we just unlocked, that just shows us here that you just press Y after a parry to do like a follow-up attack. So anyway, yeah, that's that. We'll leave that for now. I would recommend going in the training room. So if you haven't yet, I'd recommend spending some time in this training room and practicing some of the stuff. And we can also get some unique dialogue with Tyron as well, similar to Umi. But for now, we will push on forward with the mission. So we're going to grab 2 treasure chests down there, 1 up the top of the crates there. So we'll grab all that good stuff and we shall push on forward. We've got a treasure chest just over to our left, hidden behind some stuff around this corner. So just make sure to smash through this stuff, grab the treasure chest that's hidden and tucked away against the wall there. We're going to slide on under this bit. I don't think I've mentioned it yet in this walkthrough, I can't remember, but if you hold down, if you push in the right thumbstick, it will kind of like give you guidance on where to go. It will like point the camera in a specific direction. So it's telling us to go that way. So obviously we're going to go the opposite way. Wall run up here. We've got a mission to do. This mission can be a little bit spicy, so feel free to use attack increase items and stuff if you want to use them. I'm not sure if I just mentioned this, but the attack increase items and stuff like that, just to point it out, is like a temporary attack increase buff and a temporary defense increase buff. It's not like a permanent increase to your attack or a permanent increase to your defense. Yes, this one can be a little bit spicy, so we're going to open up with like a Blood Raven attack and then some standard attacks. Don't forget you can break the enemy's power attack by using a Blood Raven first. So after I've done a few attacks and a few combos and stuff, I'm generally trying to sort of like block or move, because these enemies are pretty fast. So you want to be quite sort of like nimble in this battle. Once you've done like a combo or you've done some kind of move or something, just try to sort of like hold down right trigger, block and sort of like dodge, and just be sort of like just nimble. A great kill cam there. Nice. So yeah, that is that. Got 3 enemies there. You could focus on the ranged enemy if you wanted to. Choice is yours. Anyway, we're going to head on back around here. And like I say, feel free to use your items if you fancy it, like attack increase and all that good stuff. Or defense increase. If I can show you, I'll try and show you some fly and swallow stuff. So just jump towards, press Y. On certain enemies, it will decapitate them quite fast, and other enemies it won't. Some enemies will block it. Like for example, let's try the ranged dude here. We are hitting him with it, but we haven't got the decapitation. Let's see if we can get it. Got one there, yeah, so it can be useful. Especially on like squishier enemies, so like the ranged enemies tend to have like less health. And because they're not wielding a sword, they tend to like not block the flying swallow. So it tends to have like a higher chance of decapitating the ranged enemies a little bit quicker. Obviously we've got a few decapitations there, but the melee dudes, obviously it took a little bit longer to get the decapitations on them, but you get the idea. So that is the flying swallow, and obviously if you press Y multiple times, it can trigger it multiple times. Although we just decapitated him straight away, so didn't do it multiple times. But anyway, the treasure chest just against the wall, so make sure to grab that bad boy before moving forward. And then we have another treasure chest just here. That was 3 flying swallows there. And we've got decapitation. So yeah, we've got the treasure chest there, so grab that bad boy, and then we're going to head into this room. So in this situation, there's like a rocket launcher dude up the top left. We'll probably focus on him first. We'll try for the flying swallow, and let's just see if we can get it to trigger. It works straight away. Brilliant. So once again, we're just opening up the combos with the Blood Raven. Looking to get obliterations when we can do. So let's crack on through. I love the obliteration kill cams, are just insane. So impressed with the camera work. Like mega impressed. So I'm going to go over a bit of blood essence, blood orb stuff here. So you'll notice that I'm holding down right trigger and it's not absorbing the blood essence. But as soon as you let go of right trigger, it will absorb it. So if I go here, let go of right trigger, it absorbed all the blood essence there. So like while you are holding down right trigger, you can sort of like pause the blood essence absorb if you want to do that for any reason. Like for example, if your health was already full and you wanted to like wait for the blood essence absorption, you could just, you know, dodge around like this holding right trigger, and as long as you're holding down right trigger, it won't get the orbs. As soon as you let go of right trigger, the orbs will come to you. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions and stuff, then feel free to let me know. What else we got here? So there's also the ultimate technique charge. So if you hold down Y to absorb blood essence, and you're holding down Y, and that blood essence kind of like is used for the ultimate technique speed up, it's worth mentioning that in that situation it won't restore your health. So you hold down Y, it absorbed both of those blood essence there, so it gave us level 1 then level 2 instantly, 1 level from each of the orbs. But by absorbing the blood essence this way, like the ultimate technique charge way, it won't restore health. So just keep that in mind. You know, there's different ways of kind of like absorbing the blood essence, and if you use it to speed up the ultimate technique charge, then it won't restore your health. So you know, just keep that in mind. There's different ways you can approach the blood essence and stuff. So hopefully that makes some kind of sense. There's quite a lot of information there, I realise. But yeah, if you've got any questions and stuff, as always, just let us know in the comments. So yeah, hopefully that makes some kind of sense. Like I say, any questions, feel free to just pop a comment and let me know. Anyway, so this is just telling us about the weapon skills that we can get. So to get to weapon skills, all you would do is just press start. Then you just press A on the weapon. You can unlock certain things that are specific to that weapon. So for example, we've got the dual blades here. We can unlock Spiral Shadow. So this costs weapon experience points, which is like that red symbol currency. So this one, for example, you just spin the left stick around and then press Y. It's quite good at like clearing out enemies. If you're overwhelmed with enemies and stuff, it's quite good at like clearing a little bit of space. So if you can practice that if you want to. Just spin the stick round, press Y, just like a little spin to win attack. So yeah, that is that. Let's push on forward. There's some hidden treasure chests. So if you press in the right stick, it's going to tell us to go that way, but we actually want to go down this little section around the corner. We'll run across and we'll grab that stuff there. So 2 treasure chests just tucked away. And then we've got a terminal coming up in a sec, and it's worth mentioning that the terminals restore your health to full. That can be useful if you're trying to get like a really high score on a mission, because basically when a mission ends you get a score. If you don't use any items on a level and you don't die on a level at all, you get like a 1.2 times multiplier on your score, so it can obviously help to get like your highest ranks on the missions. So if you look at our health, it's obviously not full at the moment, but if we go and press the terminal, it will pop it up to full. So you know, keep that in mind. If you're trying to get like a high rank on a mission, you can use that to your advantage. So here we can hand in some missions. We defeated the officers. Let's hand that in. Get some ninja coin. Nice. Defeated some soldiers. We can hand that in. Nice. That adds a mission, so you can defeat 50 enemies using the dual swords. Nice. Let's grab that. So other than that, that's all that. We also just got the caddis wire, which is like a grappling hook thing. I'll just cover that in a sec. I love the rain effects in this game as well. Like, it's just looks awesome, doesn't it? They've done such a good job with this game. Very impressed. Welcome back, Ninja Gaiden. Treasure chest up the top of these crates and stuff, so jump up there, grab the treasure chest. The caddis wire, there's not really much to say about this, to be totally honest. You just press RB. So when you see like the, you know, RB prompt, just press it, it'll do like the grappling hook across gaps and stuff. So once again, here the way to go is that way, so obviously we're going to ignore that and go the other way. So if you go around these things, around the side here, and we're going to head around, we're going to ninja flip on up, and we've got a Purgatory Gate. So with the Purgatory Gates, a bit of information to go over with these, which is, so essentially it says here you can receive Ninja Coin, you can receive weapon experience for successfully completing the battle. You can wager your life essence and sacrifice a portion of your health to increase the reward. When in Purgatory, combat results don't affect your score for the level. and Ninja Coin and Weapon Experience are not earned when defeating the enemies inside of Purgatory. So essentially with this, any items and any deaths inside of Purgatory won't count towards your end of level score. So you can use as many items as you want, and you can sort of die as many times as you want. It won't affect the end of level score. I'm not sure if the time inside counts towards the end of level time. I'm unsure about that bit. If you know the answer to that, feel free to let us know in the comments. You can also choose to sort of like increase the challenge, so you can like bring down your maximum health, and if you bring down your maximum health, it will increase the Ninja Coin and the weapon experience that you are awarded for doing the Purgatory challenge. There is an achievement for completing every single Purgatory Gate in the game, which we will be doing in this walkthrough. It doesn't matter what tier of challenge you press here. In terms of the achievement, I'm just going to go through on the lowest one here. You'll still get the achievement if you do every single Purgatory Gate on the lowest tier, or the highest tier. It really doesn't matter, just do whatever you want. But anyway, yeah, we're going to jump into the action here. Like I say, I don't know if the time taken inside of Purgatory actually counts towards the time taken for the level in general. I'm unsure. But yeah, feel free to let us know in the comments if you do know the answer to that. So yeah, this is basically just a challenge of just fighting a bunch of enemies, really. For these enemies, we're going to use a similar kind of tactic like we have been using so far, which is basically just open up the combo, ideally using a Blood Raven attack, and then just do some like standard attacks afterwards. You know, break the block with the Blood Raven, a few standard attacks, obliteration to finish the job. Like I mentioned before, I'm like really impressed with the camera work here on the obliteration technique specifically. Because like in the realm of like video game development, to move something from a position, by default it will just like instantly go from position A to position B. So if you tell the camera in the game's code, go from position A to go to position B, the camera will just instantly sort of like teleport from A to B, without smoothly transitioning. So here they've done such a good job of like changing the camera from like the standard camera behind us to the close-up camera for the obliteration, which is just super impressive. And it's also like not jarring as well, because you've got to imagine if a camera teleported from position A over to position B and then back again, it would be quite like mind-boggling to your eyes. It would, you know, it would be quite jarring to your eyesight, if that makes sense. So it's impressive. It sort of like pulls the camera up close to the enemy and then pulls it back in quite a nice way of doing it without being too sort of like boggling to the eyes, I suppose, if that makes sense. So yeah, just impressed with the camera right here. So you've got to imagine in like a game engine, it's a bit like graph paper. So you've got like a X position and a Y position. So X is like across and then Y is like up and down. So with the camera, you're essentially telling it to go from position whatever to position whatever. And I just think it's really impressive how they've made the camera just work. You know, it's awesome stuff. I'm going to use this blood essence to do an ultimate technique if possible. Let's go for it. Nice, we got level 2. But yeah, in terms of the fight, I'm just basically rinsing and repeating what we've been doing before. So just open up a combo, with a Blood Raven attack and some standard attacks. Like you saw, I used a few blood essences there to speed up the ultimate technique charge and all that good stuff. Anyway, that's the Purgatory Gate sorted, so we're going to head on back this way. And then we're going to grappling hook across. In this section we're going to head down towards this corner. We've got a Gourdie, which is basically like a quick time event thing. You've got to press some buttons quickly, so A then Y. In this case, I think the buttons may change on different playthroughs and stuff, so basically just press the buttons on the screen and you'll grab the Gourdie, so that's one of the collectibles. There's also a treasure chest just up the top, so we'll grab that before pushing on forward, so that's that. I'm just going to RB with the caddis wire. Like I say, with the grappling hook caddis wire, there's not really too much to it, just press RB when you see the prompt. We've got a treasure chest down there in the corner, so make sure to grab that bad boy before pushing on forward. We're going to head on down here, so we can assassinate that dude. Why not? Just trying to think what is coming on up next. We've got a treasure chest to the right side, I think. So we'll assassinate this dude and head on down here. If that thing spots you, I think some extra enemies will pop out, but don't worry too much about it. If that happens, it's not the end of the world. Just fight a couple of enemies. So we're going to grab this chest down the bottom of here, which is a cobalt ring, moderate defense increase. So if we press start and then we go to accessories, we can now slap on this cobalt ring, moderate defense increase. Pop that on. Just does exactly what it says on the tin. Gives us a bit of extra defense, so why not? Might as well slap it on. The obliteration camera, once again, it's just so... Even the camera, like it goes sort of like close to the action, and then it sort of also like pans around the action, which is just super impressive. It's just really good game design as well, because like, for example, the camera doesn't really need to have like an obliteration kill cam. Technically speaking, that action could still happen with the camera just being like it is here, like the standard camera behind Yakumo, but it wouldn't have like as much impact on the obliteration, if that makes sense. It's just a really good combination of things. Like it's got like controller, I'm pretty sure it's got like controller vibration, like as it happens. The camera's doing its thing. It's just a nice combination of things to sort of like like really give some sort of like oomph to the obliteration itself. So yeah, nothing too crazy here. We're just going to rest at the terminal. Got some unreported missions, so we'll hand those in. Capture one Gourdie. With the Gourdies, by the way, if you don't get the correct combination straight away, you can just press the Gourdie again and just try it again, so it's all good. So we handed in, capture one Gourdie. We've got another mission, capture 5 Gourdies, so we're going to grab that. You can stock up on some items if you want to. So that is that. Also, video game warriors, now is probably a good time to mention that I have developed and released my own video game on Steam. It's called Loki the Lynx. It's a 2D platformer collectathon where you've got to collect shiny coins and collect shiny keys and rescue Loki's friends from the dastardly Dr. Amygdala. I'd massively appreciate it if you pop over and check it out. If you do buy Loki the Lynx, it goes directly towards supporting me as a content creator and supporting me as an indie game developer. Thank you very much if you check it out. Alright, onwards with the mission. So we've just got some more caddis wire stuff here. Once again, caddis wire, you just press RB and it will sort of like do the grappling hook for you. You're going to jump here and then press Y to assassinate. So that is that. You can get some assassinations here, but I just fell off the thing. But it doesn't really matter here. You can just jump into that action. It's all good. If you are a little bit more stealthy there up the top, you can just assassinate a few these two enemies. But it does usually just turn into a massive crazy combat fest anyway, so it's all good. Just jump into the action. There's a couple of treasure chests and stuff that we can grab here, so let's get those before we push on forward. So let's just get our bearings here. So there's one just against this back wall. So I'll grab that Crimson Blood Pellets. I don't think I've mentioned it yet in this walkthrough series, but it's worth mentioning that if you already have the maximum amount of items in your inventory, it's just going to convert the item over to Ninja Coin. So it's a good way of like getting some extra Ninja Coin if you do it that way. You know, just have max items. So that one's just converted to Ninja Coin. So we've already got max Divine Life Elixir. That's converted to Ninja Coin. We've got max Life Elixir. And once again, that's converted to Ninja Coin as well. I've got a mission item here, which is find the data chip in Sky City, Tokyo. So let's grab that. Then we can push on forward. There's also a treasure chest just over to the left. So we shall grab that. Divine Life Elixir. And two more treasure chests, if my memory serves, just up top of here. So we'll grab those. So that's all that, and then we're gonna, once again, you can get an assassination here, but similar to before, it just turns into like a massive brawl once you jump down. So here we've got the Berserk state, or Berserk, not Berserk like the anime or manga, but the Berserk state of Ninja Gaiden. So basically here it says to enter the Berserk state you would like push in the left and the right stick together at the same time. To fill the Berserk gauge you would hit an enemy with an attack, receive an attack from an enemy, or execute the enemy using obliteration technique. So now I've got access to Berserk, so you just push in the sticks, the two sticks together at the same time to activate it. So performing certain actions in Blood Raven form while in Berserk state will trigger a bloodbath kill, instantly slaughtering the enemy. Some enemies that cannot be instantly killed will be staggered instead. So here it says hold left trigger and X or left trigger and Y to do the bloodbath kill. So it's essentially hold down left trigger, hold down Y, and it will trigger the bloodbath. Hold down left trigger, hold down Y. As long as it connects with an enemy, like so, it will trigger the bloodbath. So that is that. Useful when there's like loads and loads of enemies surrounding us. So you'll now see, if you look towards the bottom left, we've got access to the Berserk gauge, which we didn't have before. So essentially that will be sort of like filling as we are just playing through, attacking, receiving damage. You probably should take out the rocket launcher enemies here, so let's do that. Nice. The obliteration. Never get tired of the obliteration. I didn't realise these enemies could still shoot rockets actually when they had their limbs cut off. Crazy stuff. I'll never get tired of the obliteration cam. It's awesome. So once again, Berserk state. Press the sticks in. There, so you can hold down Y or you can hold down X as well. So X is more of like a sort of slash upwards, and Y is more of a slash like horizontally across. So I tend to use the Y version. It tends to be a little bit more useful. You know, when there's like loads of enemies and you do like the slash across, it just tends to be a little bit more useful. But yeah, you know, just use whatever fits the situation. So I've got some more adds here, so we're just going to smash on through. I tried to get Blood Raven attack in there before he got the power attack, but it was too late. Just going to grab that Blood Essence for a little bit of health. So with these enemies, I try to keep a little bit of the Bloodbind gauge. Because essentially I don't want to fight that particular enemy with like no Bloodbind gauge, because you want to have some to sort of like interrupt their power attacks, or you want to have some to break their defensive block. So I try to have like a little bit of the gauge at all times when fighting that particular enemy. But obviously sometimes in the heat of battle you got to just let loose and just use all the gauge if needed. So we've just handed in a mission. We got a herb. So that herb is like 1/2 of a health upgrade. We need to get another part of that, which I think is called a black scale, to actually get the health upgrade. So that's the herb that we just got there. We'll just ignore that for now. But yeah, if you get the second part of that, you get max health increase. Treasure chest up the top of there, so climb on up and grab that bad boy. I'm just trying to think what else is here. I think treasure chest in this corner, and then one around this corner as well. Let us know, video game warriors, how you're getting on with Ninja Gaiden so far. Treasure chest here at the bottom of this, at the end of this corridor. I'm not sure if I can show you the Zuna Ninja drop. So X, Y, X, 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 Y. So that is that. I don't think I've covered that yet, but that can be useful if you're surrounded with like loads of enemies and you want to get some like breathing room away from the group. It also can, if it lands on an enemy, it can also do damage to the enemy that it lands on as well, and it can sort of like break apart a group. So if you need a little bit of breathing room, you can use that. Sometimes gives you a little bit of breathing space. So that is that. I don't think there's anything else in this segment, if memory serves, so we should be good. But yeah, I realised there's quite a lot of information really for Chapter 1. Like I say, this game, the complexity can go quite deep. So just RB, wall run, RB. I think you can get an assassination if you fancy it there. X, Y, X, 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 Y. Brilliant move. Try and get obliteration there. Once again, oh, so impressed with that camera work. It's just awesome how the camera goes close and then just also like pans around the enemy like while you're doing the obliteration as well. I'm not sure if we overlooked a chest there. Just want to double check. Not this level. Must be an upcoming level, I think. Anyway, we'll push on forward. Flying swallow. RB. Flying swallow. Nice. Just trying to remember. I think there's a level later where there's a treasure chest there, but it's not this one, so we are good. I can push on forward. If you are enjoying this video game warriors, then pop the video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos from me. Leave a comment, let me know how you're getting on with Ninja Gaiden 4 so far. So I think this is coming up to the boss if my memory serves. So stock up on items if you need to stock up. Hand in any missions if you have any to hand in. Let's see what Tyrant says. Might say something about a new skill. No, that's fine for now. We'll just leave that for now. We'll cover some more combat stuff in Chapter 2, I think. There is a treasure chest to our left here, so let's grab that. And other than that, I think it's boss time. So let's jump in to the action. I'm just going to skip through this cutscene. So with this boss, so what is this trying to teach us here? While taking damage, some enemies are even able to move unflinchingly against Blood Raven attacks. So it's saying that sometimes larger enemies will just continue to keep attacking us even when we're attacking them. They will sort of like not be staggered and not be knocked back sometimes. While a formidable enemy is guarding or performing a defensive action, countering it with Blood Raven form attacks will stagger the enemy, rendering it unable to attack and opening its defenses. Additionally, the closer the formidable enemy was to unleashing its power attack, the longer it will stay staggered. So basically with this fight here, a lot of the time it's about blocking, dodging or power attacks. So if you can get your Blood Raven attack in quickly, like when he's doing the power attack, go for it. As you notice there, we just blocked a lot of those attacks. So what we're doing is kind of just blocking and then following up with a Blood Raven afterwards. So just blocking, just be careful if you block. If you're running out of blocks, you might choose to dodge as opposed to just keep blocking. It depends on the situation. We're a little bit late there on the Blood Raven, so we got kind of like exchanged blows. So just hold block for a lot of your standard attacks. Don't forget you can do a Blood Raven type block, which is, you know, it blocks the power attacks. What else we got here? So let's just try and, I want to have more Blood Raven gauge, so I'm going to use this this restoration Crimson Blood pellets here because I want to show you ideally a few more attacks in this boss fight before we wrap up. So we're going to have a bit of, make sure we've got a bit of Bloodbind gauge so we can break his defense and then follow it up with some standard attacks like so. Once again, I'm just going to use it again so I can show you. So we're going to start the combo with a Blood Raven and then follow it with some base attacks. But essentially that is the fight. It kind of wants to teach you that you want to break the defensive block using a Blood Raven and then follow it up with some like base attacks afterwards, if that makes sense. So yeah, I wanted to use some of the items there so I could show you some of the stuff in that fight. That animation is so cool. But yeah, essentially that's it. You want to be doing like a lot of blocking. You want to be like using the Blood Raven to break his defenses and then follow it up with base attacks after you've broken his defenses. Look out for the power attack symbol. If you can get a Blood Raven attack in when he's doing the power attack, absolutely go for it. It will break his stance and leave him open to attacks and stuff. For his standard attacks, you can just block them or you can dodge them, depending on the scenario. Do what you got to do. Don't forget to use all your items and stuff to help you through the stage. If you have any questions and stuff about the boss, then feel free to ask in the comments. Also, feel free to leave your own tips in the comments. You know, your tips and tricks, they might help some other video game warriors, so let us know. So this is kind of like the overall score at the end of a level. Things that it takes into account here are items used, so we've used 8, so it like reduces the score. You've got deaths, you've got kills, you've got the time, and you've got the sort of like technique and like combos and stuff that you've done throughout the level. So that's like a combination of all that stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, if you don't use any items and you don't have any deaths, you will get a 1.2 times multiplier to your score. So if you're going for like a higher score, then that can be useful to know. But essentially, that's the end of the chapter here, Video Game Warriors. So I'm going to wrap up this episode. Please do pop the video a like if it has helped you out. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos from me. Drop a comment, let me know how you're getting on with Ninja Gaiden 4. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.